Hey everyone, Leadspeed here. Wow, Merlanteans. It's been a while since I've actually done a video on these. But then again, it makes sense, right? Because when it comes down to it, and for how long I played this deck, what more is there to say about it? Like, no joke, I seriously couldn't figure out what to talk about. And I'm still not sure what to talk about. And to be honest, that kind of goes without saying because, heck, after you play it for a while, I don't know, there's almost nothing you could talk about with this deck. I mean, I've been trying stuff here and there as far as like tech cards, and heck, it wasn't until after this particular game that, you know, I stumbled across a couple of techs that I decided, you know what, I might try them out. One of them in particular is Fission Swaps. Now, Fission Swaps is interesting. It basically is a normal spell from Generation Force. Get a Scarta card to target one of you get 2 Aqua, Fish, or Sea Serpent type monsters and put them into your hand. The idea with Fission Swaps in a deck like this is that since the deck generally runs Tidal, Dragon Roar, Waterfalls, you basically use it to get back the water monsters like Lind or Vistius or Dragoons that you banished with Tidal. You get them back into your hand. And when you toss Abyss Gun, you get her effect too. So it's a nice tech option. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a card that I'm not even sure is necessary, but it's definitely worth trying out. And yes, I realized that this game was a little bit older. This was before the new format had begun. In fact, I think this was one of the last games I had with this deck because, well, the format was nearing its end at the time, and I think it was because I was playing against Lightsworn rulers, and, you know, everyone was kind of hopping aboard this Lightsworn ruler hype and stuff like that. And heck, this was one of the decks that I thought would top at the North American World Championship qualifiers, and man, was I wrong. In fact, I think several people were thinking the same thing because of all the hype that Lightsworn Rulers had. You know, when the structure deck came out, it's like, okay, this deck is very explosive, and with the new tuner monsters and the Dragon Roar engine with the Eclipse Wyverns, I mean, you definitely have a very powerful deck. But what ends up happening is that we end up having, like, the finals being a hat mirror match. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that. A hat mirror match. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. Where's the Lightsworn? I mean, I thought Lightsworn was gonna be in there or something like that. Not saying that, oh, I would have wanted them to win. I mean, I thought, oh, they would probably be in the finals at the very least. And I was thinking they would win because everyone would probably be playing them, and plus, you know, they're just like a really strong deck. But nope, apparently Hat won, so that's kind of crazy. And I guess then again, I probably should have expected that just because, I mean, when Hat gets all their backward going, it's like, well, it's hard to set up your plays because you could just get hit by a Traptrix, Trap Hole Nightmare, and some other cards like that. You would basically have a very difficult time setting up. Now, with that being said, I guess that's also kind of the same reason Mermail wasn't there either, because, yeah, you can do stuff like Abyss Pike and stuff like that, but I don't know, I guess it just really depends on the other matchups, and I guess it's just because, yeah, it did really well at the European national qualifiers, but it doesn't exactly translate over to the North American side of things, I guess. And I guess that kind of goes without saying, because when I was playing this deck, like, there's like a really close game I had, and I ended up having to, like, I don't know, I think that with this deck, like, because I'm running like 3 marksmen, half the time it's dead, so not only do I have to, like, worry about having dead cards, but the freaking Lightsworn real could just drop JDs before I can maybe do anything, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just kind of like, oh, so recharge, dump a lot of stuff, get a bunch of draws, mill power, Coast Wyverns, banish JDs, Night Ray Diaboloses, banish with Dragon Roars, make synchros, make exceeds, then drop JDs later when you have no more outs to them. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but as far as this particular deck goes, I mean, there's not much for me to say about it just because, like I said, I've been playing this for a long while now, even when they were relatively new. You know, back when people weren't really using Abyss Gaios and stuff like that. I mean, heck, I don't think people were really playing that. Even when Abyss Rising came out, I think some people were kind of saying it's kind of bad. And I mean, to an extent, I kind of understood why, because the only level 7 water monster the Mermail archetype had was a Megalo. And I mean, would you really invest 2 Megalos to make Abyss Gaios most of the time? I mean, sometimes you would. Well, like, sometimes you would, but it's not very often. And then it just kind of goes to the same story, but what about, like, Mermail Bisgun? I mean, I remember when people kind of weren't using her at the time. And, heck, I remember doing a video discussion, you know, everyone was playing the Undyne build, which I still refuse to play. Like, yeah, after all this time, I still refuse to do a video with the Undyne version. Why? I just don't... Like, I understand it's a little bit better now because Gen X Controller is a level 3 Dark Tuner. So, I mean, if you had level 5s like Dragon Ice, you can make Beals of the Diabolic Dragons. And plus, you can use it with Abystius to make Leo. And I mean, I'm kind of doing the same thing with Bishbark Archer, a card that I haven't really been seeing people use. The card's actually been really helpful though, so I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, it's just kind of like, what else is there to say? I mean, this deck's been around for a long time. I mean, even when people thought it was dead, it is still alive. I mean, when people saw Abyss Gund going to 1, I mean, some people thought the deck was dead, and I was like, it's not dead, guys. Like, it's like if she got banned or something, like, dude, the deck would be dead if like Abyss Pike got limited or something like that. Because if you think about it, Abyss Pike is a really crucial part of this deck. Yes, Abyss Gund is pretty much like Wolfbark in that she enables rank 4 plays like easily, and you can recycle her back. Abyss Pike gets the ball rolling a lot of the time because I mean, he's your basic searcher of the deck, and if you think about it, I mean, if he got hit, I would pretty much think the deck's dead from there on because I mean, it's definitely one of your go-to Mermail monsters. I mean, without him, you know, you can't be really thinning your deck that much outside of your Abyss Lind and Abyss Sphere. And I remember people back then thinking hitting Abyss Megalo would fix the problem, but it really wouldn't, because even with 1 Megalo, you still have a really powerful monster that can really enable OTKs with like Dragoons and stuff like that. If anything, Dragoons was the one that had to be hit for that reason, because yes, Megalo's being able to just being able to summon and trigger all your Atlantean effects. But Dragoons was the one that just pretty much said, well, you know what? I'm going to get that Deep Sea Diva so you can do that OTK. I'm going to pretty much get that Mulan Glacia. I'm also going to get a Megalo and Abyss Lead if you ran that, and I still run that because I like that card. And I know some people are going to freaking castrate me for still running the darn card because and Abyss Oshia. It's crazy though, because when it comes to this deck and why I chose certain cards over other ones, like I even ran a Abyss Soldier in this deck. At the time, it was a good tech option because, you know, back when big Xyz like Dracosac were still running rampant all the time, and having a card like Pulse and Abyss Soldier was really good. And I thought, you know what? Not only would I be able to bounce something like Dracosac or Wind Up Zenmaines or Engineer, but I can also get another Atlantean effect. So the idea is still there. I mean, I think I have them sideboarded for now because, I don't know, it just, against Lightsworn, it's not great. Because, I mean, if they have JD, it's like, well, bouncing JD is not going to do shit. If they have Michael, the Arc Lightsworn, that's not going to do anything. So, yeah, it's just weird. I mean, here I'm just trying to, like, since I played this for so long, and the fact that I tried out a card like Fission Swaps, I mean, it just means that, yeah, I'm really thinking of I'm just really trying to think of like what to do next. And I think at this point, what I'm gonna start doing is that I'm probably gonna touch on other decks like Satellar Knights and what are those guys? Those dragon things. Yang Xing. Yeah, Yang Xing. I'm probably gonna do videos with them maybe. Like with this, there's not much else I can talk about. I mean, if random water support came out that indirectly helps this deck, I'm obviously gonna talk about it. But yeah, there's only like one other card that I can maybe talk about, and and I don't even know if I talked about it back then. But if I did, then deep apologies for that. But the card is, I believe, I think it's Nightmare Shark or something like that. I forget exactly. I think it was like number 47, I think. Yeah, that's it. Number 49, Nightmare Shark. Now, I think I had tried the card out before, and it's actually not that bad. But I don't know. It's very interesting. So he takes 2 level 3s, and then when he special summoned, you can attach a level 3 water monster from your hand or your field to it as a material. And then you could detach a material, and then you could target a water monster, and that's this turn it can attack the opponent directly, but other monsters cannot attack. So in a way, you kind of use it to swing for game. You could swing past a big monster and attack for game in a similar manner to Heartland Draco. So that's what I thought. You know, that might be worth considering someday, but for now, I haven't really thought about running it, but that's something I have considered prior to when I did more games with this deck. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. But I guess with that being said, like, what do you think about Mermails going forward? I mean, I still think they're a very good deck, but I just don't think there's all that much to talk about. I mean, I could kind of talk about some things, but I don't know. I'm just kind of referencing older tech cards and experiences with the deck, because let's be honest, I know everyone hated Tidal Merlantean thing, or just in general like Merlantean. And I don't know, I mean, when I play the deck, I mean, it's kind of like with, I mean, like, I love the archetype. I love how their artwork is. I like the idea how you have these mermen, and these monsters, I guess, in battle armor being. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And then, you know, you just kind of have like, I don't know, it's very interesting. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, this is kind of a ramble, but like, can you really blame me for that? It's freaking Mermail, and I played it for a while, so yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time when I do. I'll probably start talking about like cards from the latest OCG set, New Challengers. That might be interesting, right? Especially because it's about to be released in Japan, so yeah, that's probably going to be more intriguing content as opposed to this one. And I think after this, I'm going to have another video with Talea Plants, and then I'm going to have the deck profile of the Talea Plants deck. And yeah, I bet you're wondering what I have to say about Talea Plants that time. Oh, it's going to be fun. Trust me. If you've seen some of the games I've had lately with the deck, you'll probably know what I'm talking about next time. So yeah, see you guys then.